Alright, we're back. Okay, so, what I was saying was, the reason why the Emperor was like, look, you gotta keep this psychic power shit in check and follow these rules, was because when Mangus got that psychic vision of the heresy, he sends the psychic equivalent of an email to the Emperor saying, shit's popping off, we need to stop this now. The Emperor, working on it, because even back in those days, they had to use the warp, and even back in those days it was bad, just not as bad. The Emperor was actually working on making his own webway gate, which is what the Eldar use, so that the humanity could go from one end of the galaxy to the other in short time, without having to take the shortcut through hell.
Magnus promptly fucked that up.
Yeah, that psychic email, so the Emperor had a whole bunch of psychic shields up, so that demons wouldn't fuck with his telepathic superhighway. Mangus blew through all of them to give him that email, which he never had time to read because everything exploded. The palace caught fire, and the webway gate he was building promptly exploded and almost destroyed Terra.
Yep.
So the Emperor, in perhaps a very calm, fatherly tone, got Leman Russ and said, bring me Mangus, he has some splaining to do.
From what I was told, the idea was that they were going to put Magnus on trial, which later turned into kill Magnus because of
well, Horus intercepted it. Horus knew that Mangus was trying to warn the Emperor. So Horus was like, he intercepted the letter and just changed it from bring Mangus to kill Mangus.
Yep.
And sent it on his way. Russ, receiving this letter...
Probably opponents later.
Yep. Rival team.
Yep.
But they're also friends of yours. Or hers, I should say.
Yep, basically, the Emperor was pissed, but not murderously pissed.
However, Leman Russ, having received orders from the still at the time warlord of the Imperium, was like, well...
Astronaut training school?
Yep.
Oh my god, I wish we had one of those.
Yeah, man, these dudes are preppy kids. So yeah. Russ, receiving these orders, was like, well... they're from the right person, and they got the stamp and everything, so I guess I gotta go kill my brother. Fuck. I told him not to be playing with that fucking psychic powers.
It's also implicated that there are 2 missing Primarchs because of Russ.
Yeah. It's unclear what happened, although there are books that imply that they had to be gotten rid of. And
on a meta level, I can tell you exactly why there are 2 missing Primarchs. It's because 2 people would make up their own chapters, say they were first founding chapters, and then fight on the tabletop, and they didn't want that to fuck up by story logic.
Yeah, long story short, the implied reason is that GW wanted you to be able to make your own Lost Legion or whatever.
Yeah, but they tried to come up with a story reason, but the real reason is to sell toys.
Now, the funny thing is, like, the Primarchs are lost and just stricken from the records, which is really funny because even the heretic Primarchs are still in the record book, so everyone's like,
they fucked up real bad.
What did these guys do? It is finally been implied by the books what happened. Those dudes tried to fucking improve the gene seed.
Oh.
So, like, they didn't just, like, make demonic packs. They tried to outdo the Emperor.
Anyways, we will see you next time.
See you in a second,
I got some customizing to do.
Oh, as I closed it, I noticed there was the Punisher skull, and I'm like, oh no, I missed the Punisher fact.
You'll get to it.
No, I closed it. I'll have to go back and find it again. Oh, well, whatever.
Control-Shift-T.
Yeah, that works. Alright, we're back.
Alright, I made some incremental improvements to all of my things, including blast radius to my bazooka. No change in parts.
Back to more oh, no, you can now just carry on with the story.
Yep. Okay, so what is this? Icicle, Japan Cup Best 16.
Yeah.
So 8
we're
more
actually
rounds.
Now in the last
4
more rounds. We're actually in the finals now.
Awesome, let's do it.
So the next 4 missions are all battle royales. Well, sort of. This one's a core assault, but it keeps switching up the team you fight, I believe.
That's cool.
Chilly.
Also, some of my part upgrades were actually rather significant. I increased
my face.
Rarity on a couple of parts, which is nice because it lets me stack more abilities in.
As you may or may not recall from earlier episodes, before we deduced that stuff was just not good viewing.
Yeah, me being autistic about numbers isn't very entertaining.
I mean,
at least in our opinion.
It was the first time, but that gets old fast when, after we've pretty much had our build set, it's mostly just cleanup. Alright, so it looks like you're fighting the most generic team possible, GMs.
Alright, time to fucking end their lives.
As is the fate of most pilots of GMs.
Yep.
Doesn't tend to go well for them.
This is going real quick.
It's almost like they're piloting generic mechs.
Yeah! I know, right?
The GM is probably the... You know what the thing that bothers me the most is that the GM is such a piece of... Like, it's such a cop-out. It's like, it's just...
Oh shit, they're just knocking me out of attacks left, right, and center.
It is just fractionally better than the Zaku in every conceivable way. And it's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, it just kinda sucks to be a Zaku fan.
Yeah. Kinda sucks to have good design aesthetics.
I like the GM design, actually. It is super generic, but...
Well, like, that was the thing. Like, the Zaku is such a... Like, the Gundam and the Zaku are the two designs that keep coming back. Like, they are the iconic design, whereas the GM is kind of just there.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of abandoned, like, halfway through the Universal Century, and they just stop making GM variants. Move on to better shit, like the Gigans, which were... Like, I kind of liked the Gigans because they looked fast and
some
efficient.
of the shittier mass-produced Gundams, like the Gundam ground type.
And to be fair, it wasn't a bad Gundam.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, it got outmoded real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Then again, so did the Goof, and the Goof wasn't bad.
Yeah. The Goof was actually pretty good. It went toe-to-toe with the Gundam.
The only reason it lost was because it wasn't made of fucking plot armor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could damage the Gundam. Like, its heat, like, not even its fucking sword. Its fucking whip cut parts off the Gundam.
Yep.
The only reason it lost was because, yeah, it got plot armored, and also it wasn't being piloted by, well...
Rao was a good pilot.
He was a good he was an ace. Like, he was, I think, the only named ace who isn't a fucking new type. But that was his problem, was that he was an ace who wasn't a new type, having to fight a named new type.
Yep. Well, that was quick. Fuck, the head Vulcan is good. Oh, it didn't let me get the parts again.
Yeah.
Oh well. It was just a green, it's probably not too terrible.
Yeah, you probably didn't miss out anything spectacular.
It's just annoying. Like, the Monster Hunter player in me is like, no, I missed a car! That could have been the plate that I need to build my armor set.
Oh, you know what I'm excited for?
What? Monster Hunter on the Switch?
Monster Hunter XX on the Switch.
Yeah, I think I might just get the 3DS version, though. I'm not sure I want to buy a Switch.
Yeah. And I can't blame you. Like, I'm getting it mostly because I found out I'm getting a copy of the Zelda for the Switch. Someone's getting that for me, so I'm like, fuck it. I was planning on getting a Switch eventually anyway. I'm just accelerating my plans now.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll get a Switch eventually, just because Nintendo has a thing of making their consoles always backwards compatible to one generation.
At the least, yeah.
So I have a Wii that's backwards compatible to play my Wii and GameCube games. And if I get a Switch, it's going to be backwards compatible to play my Switch and Wii U games.
Yep. I'm probably going to wind up keeping my Wii U just because most of my Wii U library is saved onto that big old hard drive I have hooked into the back of it. And I'm not entirely sure if the if the Nintendo Switch is going to use USB-style external memory. Because we know it's using SD memory. And they've stated that it is compatible with large terabyte SD cards.
Honestly, I've never used much of the memory on my Wii U. I didn't do a whole lot of Virtual Console stuff with Nintendo. It left sort of a sour taste in my mouth after the last generation. So what I think I'm going to do is when I eventually cave and get a Switch, because Monster Hunter on console, I'm going to, like, donate it.
And the better part is it's still technically a portable.
I'm gonna donate my Wii U to, like, a children's hospital or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Just, like, fuck, I've been locked up in hospitals and there is fucking nothing to do.
Oh yeah. It's genuinely not great.
Oh, shit, I'm getting a phone call.
Are you gonna pause it?
Yeah, let's pause it for a second.
Alright, we'll see you in a second, folks. So, here was the Punisher fact. The Telemark Battalion, a real-life elite mechanized infantry unit of the Norwegian Army, used the Punisher logo in their fight against the Taliban, and currently in their fight against ISIS.
That's awesome. Okay, 3, 2, 1, unpause.
All
Sorry
right.
about my horrible unprofessionalism, folks.
Yeah, like we've ever been professional on this channel. Anyway, yeah, we're back. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I remember visiting you in that hospital. I don't even think they let you bring in your 3DS.
No, they didn't. One of my friends had to smuggle it in for me.
Yeah.
And even then, they threatened to take it away, but eventually I managed to convince them that, like, it was better for my mental state for me to have something to distract myself, rather than to be in an empty room for hours at a time.
Yeah. I mean, do they at least let you have books or something? I mean, even then, like, even if you have books, there's only so much reading a human being can do.
Oh my god, I went through, like, 4 novels over the course of 2 weeks.
That's...
Like, it's not terrible, but like...
it's not good.
There's only a few series that I follow, and I
Yeah.
chewed up, like, months of reading material in days.
Yeah. And, like, even then, like, for me, I can't actually, like... I have good vision, but even my eyes get tired eventually.
Yeah, I can only sit down and read for a couple hours at a time. After that, it starts to hurt.
Actually, it's funny for me, like, a lot of people I know complain about, like, they get eye fatigue from electronics. That is the one medium that doesn't give me eye fatigue.
Yeah, at this point, I'm so used to electronics that
Yeah.
they can't give me eye fatigue.
Yeah, I can sit at my laptop all day with no negative effects.
I used to get eye fatigue up until high school. Then I just stopped.
Then you grew up.
Well, it's like that thing where if you have a specific type of pain for long enough, eventually your body just stops telling you about it.
Yeah. It's likely a bad thing.
It's like some people with arthritis report that sometimes they just don't feel their arthritis until it gets really bad.
Yeah.
My guess is because I've spent so much of my life in front of screens, I no longer notice when my eyes are complaining about being in front of a screen.
Yeah.
Or one time I had a really bad cavity, and it hurt like a motherfucker for about a week, and then I just stopped noticing it, and I forgot I had that cavity. And when I saw the dentist months later, he's like, "How the fuck are you not in horrible pain?"
Oh, well, let me tell you about my life, sir.
I think part of it is also, like, once you've experienced a part of your body rotting and falling off, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make you feel really, really hurt.
Yeah. Is the part still attached? Yeah, I've had worse.
I can't help but notice the tooth is still in my body.
This is a distinct step up from a giant cavity in my anus.
Has part of my ass fallen off? No, I've been through worse. Oh, man. So, actually, one of my mom's friends is like a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
And, my mom...
How embarrassing. I agree.
my mom told her about it, and she's
About
like...
the necrosis or about
about
the
the
tooth?
necrosis.
Yeah.
And was like, oh my god, and he's not dead or paralyzed? So, yeah, turns out I kind of got the long end of that stick.
I mean, twice? 3 times? How many times were you bit again?
4 times. Twice
Yeah.
on my left leg, once on my right, and that time on my ass.
I'm gonna guess the next time you're just gonna drop dead, man. Like, you can't keep playing the lottery like this.
I don't know, man. I think it's either I'm super lucky, or I'm just immune at this point.
You might be Spider-Man. Have you considered your Spider-Man?
I don't know, I haven't tried to climb a wall in a very long time.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Oh, man, actually, back in fucking high school, after I got bit by that spider, there was all this shit with stage crew where, like, all this stuff was supposed to be locked, but I figured out ways to climb wires and wall mountings to get around it. There was actually a thing where,
Fire the nuke now while you're supercharged.
the teacher who was supposed to be running stage crew, Miss Knowles,
Yeah.
was like, I need to go and get you a key so you can climb this ladder that has a board locked over it. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. And then I just hop off a bunch of things and climb the ladder. And she's like, okay, no more doing that.
I can't knowingly let you do that.
And super attack. But yeah, it became a thing where we didn't need keys anymore.
Because you just spider-monkeyed your way around it.
Yep. There was also a way into the booth through this, the stage crew booth where I kept my Nintendo during school hours, that none of the teachers officially knew about.
I like that you quantify it that way.
Oh no, there were 2 or 3 who definitely knew I had a Nintendo. but
Didn't care.
Didn't care, because I let some of them play it. But like there were like 4 windows in the booth, and one of them was really, really tiny. And as it happened, so was I. And we had to keep that open for a few wires to pass through. So what wound up happening was I would like shift my entire upper body through that tiny ass hole.
Just as a heads up, you know you can jump and slash, right?
Yeah, but it's faster to just use the machine gun.
I mean, I guess. Oh man.
So,
Alright, we'll see you next time, folks, while we have this golden opportunity of a good place to cut.
Alright.